Hey everybody, this is Arshia from Asian Boss. When it comes to India, now the most populous country in the world, there are many stereotypes that foreigners often get wrong. Can you guess which one is the most widespread? Perhaps Indian curry. Now, if you are not from India, you might be a bit puzzled. How is this even a stereotype? Don't they all eat curry? And if you are watching this from India, you know how this will go down. Everything you believed might have been a lie. Let's go and find out how Indian feels about curry stereotype. If you had to take a guess, which Indian cuisine do you think is most widely known overseas?
Tandoori chicken?
I think it's butter chicken.
Okay, and what about you?
Butter chicken.
Butter chicken or chicken tikka.
Indian cuisine, biryani.
Well, it's actually Indian curry. What's your reaction to this?
Indian curry. I don't think so because Indian curry is like there are many things in Indian foods.
Oh, curry! I didn't know about it. Actually, the curry is only a mixture of spices, tomato, and onion gravy that is there. But I don't think that should be so famous.
Curry. First thing they say is curry, which is basically an English word. We don't have a word for curry.
Then what's your definition of curry as an actual Indian person? What do you call all these gravy-based dishes?
There is no curry. Curry is simply gravy. So there's no specific curry dish we can combine, and there are unique names for each dish.
So every distinct so-called curry has a different nutritional value, has a different flavor, has different, it's a different North Indian, East Indian, South Indian. There's so many cuisines. It's not just, you cannot just say there is one Indian curry.
I think that is a perception created in their own minds, right? We don't have anything like naming as curry. We have rajma chawal, we have chole bhature, we have dal chawal, we have different cuisines, we have dal makhni, we have shahi paneer, we have malai kofta. So that is not all of them is not curry.
Okay, so this might be really confusing for our audience. So can you give us some example using other countries' food to compare how they shouldn't be grouped together under one name?
Yes, for example, in case of Japanese, we call it sushi. So everything is not sushi, right?
We think of sandwiches, so there are different type of sandwiches. They can be Subway or a hot dog or burgers or a croissant. Some people use croissant as a sandwich. So we are not clubbing them together. Each one of them have different names. So same like Indians have different dishes. They cannot club together as a curry.
Learn different names, I guess, just like we did, no? Burger, hamburger, taco, we know it, they should also.
There are like so many different Italian dishes, but if someone doesn't know, they can just say, oh, it's pasta. Like risotto is different. In India, I never found the word curry in any menu of any restaurant, but abroad, like I lived in Korea for 1 year. So there everyone would say, oh, Indo, curry. They would just say like that. So it's like everywhere else. I don't know why they just want to generalize every dish in a curry. So I guess it makes them easier to recognize or understand that it's an Indian dish.
So just to double check, in your everyday life, you never come across the word curry. Let's break this down. Where do you think this stereotype about Indian curry comes from? Because everywhere you go, not just in America, but in other countries like Japan and Korea, people have this perception that curry comes from India, right?
Yes, the term curry is synonymous with India. It all started, I think, from the Western world, where they want to just simplify things. They don't want to, go into the details. So, just to make things simple, they said Indian curry.
The word curry comes from England because the British could not use all these different terms. So they simplified it into one word, curry.
So when you hear foreigners saying they love Indian curry, how does that make you feel? What goes through your mind?
It makes me feel that they have used this as a generalized term for all the cuisines, multiple cuisines we have.
Not happy at all.
They should be specific.
Okay, so do you think foreigners should stop using the umbrella term curry and learn in the individual names?
Exactly. They should, pronounce the dish, what they are eating, what they want to eat, or what they are making. What is this Indian curry? I don't understand that. You can't just say, generalize it.
That is typical British attitude.
Do you think foreigners should stop using the umbrella term curry and learn the individual name of dishes?
It is not possible for them because this is the Indian word.
just they like the Indian food, that is good for me, but I cannot force them to learn each and everything. Like I cannot learn each and every Russian or German food name, so it's okay.
They are like not so exposed to Indian food probably, and all of their information is just based on what they might have heard in their own country. So they might want to try it, their heart is in the right place, but probably they should do a little bit more research, I guess, to try to find out what different cuisines are called and what do they taste like, and it cannot be all generalized into curry.
It's not really practical because you can't explain too many words to foreigners for them to learn all this vocabulary and then remember it, then be able to use it again. It's not an easy job. I am a tour guide now. I travel all over India with the foreign tourists, especially French and Iranians, and I explain the different types of curries. So if we are in a buffet, I see those, I say, okay, try this and you will find dominance of this spice. Try that, you'll find dominance of that spice. You know, so I explain the difference. And I also explain that curry is an English word, not an Indian word at all.
From now on, let's not use the word curry then. What's your favorite dish that you think the rest of the world should know about?
Like I come from Northeast India, so I like a fish dish, so we call it in Bengali also known as ilis mas, the hilsa. So that is my favorite, so I would like to promote it. That is a fish, it is very tasty.
Me being from Bihar, it would be litti chokha. So basically litti chokha is like a dough of wheat and basically roasted grams, and it is stuffed in that dough of the wheat, and it is roasted on the charcoal or something like that.
Why do you think there is such a limited awareness about the Indian culture that most foreigners would get the simplest thing like curry go wrong?
Because our country has always been generalized in terms like, it's a poor country of bad names, right? So it has been generalized all the time.
If we have to go one step further, it's kind of like more related to geopolitics. So example, if any country has more dominance in terms of economic power or all of those things, people naturally want to follow their culture. So for example, let's say tomorrow Vietnam becomes a powerhouse, then everybody would be interested in Vietnamese cuisine, Vietnamese actors, actresses. But right now, because they are not a powerhouse, so nobody thinks about them. But let's say Korea or US are kind of like at the top of the game right now, so everybody is into Korean culture or the US culture. So I think it would just like if India becomes, the GDP becomes better and everything becomes better, people will be naturally more interested and inclined to try the cultural things.
India was among the backward countries and people did not really care about India or Indian cuisine. Now they are really taking interest in India, they're investing, they're coming to India, tourism has picked up. So now as they come here and as India's name goes global, they will realize what India is all about and what India has to offer.
Everybody's got stereotypes. Let's not get stuck in that. And those stereotypes are essentially because of lack of interaction. And in fact, the fact that we are discovering that they are stereotypes is also a result of so much good communication. People are communicating, so they watch on YouTube, say a Japanese fellow talking about India, so they'll come to know, oh, this guy's got it wrong, or maybe he's not got it too right. That's also because of communication. So I think this communication becomes better, stereotypes will slowly become more disappear, and people will be more agreeable to others' opinion of themselves.
What do you wish India was known for globally other than this curry stereotype?
See, according to me, our country has a diversified culture, right? As in for clothing, as in for cuisines, we have lot to share. So I would love foreigners to come to India and explore more about it.
Our culture, our handlooms, there are religious festivity which we have for all the religions. The way we celebrate it, it's beautiful.
Our culture is so varied. It's so different. They should learn about that. Why curry only?
And the food we eat during these festivals, it's so full of variety.
For its diversity of races, of religions, of India is, I think, probably the most diverse country in these terms. That's what it should be known for. Come discover India with an open mind. which the Europeans often do. Of course, some people will also come with closed minds, but come with an open mind. Don't judge it with your values. Just like you don't want us to judge your values, don't judge us. Observe what we do, ask questions. That's very important. And if you ask the same question, you'll get 6 different answers from 6 different people. That's the variety of India. That's the lovely aspect of India.